Hari Om friends, welcome once again to Sanatan Dunya, your spiritual home. In this video, I shall be giving my commentary on the sixth sloka of Dakshinamurti Stotram. Dakshinamurti Stotram is a composition and spiritual work of wisdom by Adi Shankaracharya, who is one of the greatest masters of Sanatan Dharma and mainly as far as Advaita Vedanta is concerned. For those of you who have not yet listened to my commentaries on the 5 introductory prayers of this Dakshinamurti Stotram and the previous slokas of this work, I suggest you listen to them before continuing with this video. These videos are available in the video section of my channel and also in the playlist section of this channel in the playlist titled Adi Shankaracharya's Works of Vedantic Wisdom and Dakshinamurti Stotram with commentary in English, 11 parts. Before I go ahead and give my commentary on the 6th sloka of Dakshinamurti Stotram, I have a small request to make. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, then I suggest you do so that you may be updated about forthcoming videos uploaded to this channel. So let's move on. The 6th sloka of the Dakshinamurti Stotram is as follows. On folding up all the functions of the senses, he who enters into a state of deep sleep and becomes their existence alone, veiled in Maya like the sun or the moon during eclipse, and who on waking remembers to have slept, to him, the divine teacher Sri Dakshinamurti is this prostration. The commentary of this sloka is as follows. All creatures all over the creation go through 3 states of consciousness, namely waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. In the waking state, we experience the gross world of names and forms through our gross and subtle bodies. In this state, our minds are fully awake and we go through a variety of experiences in this illusory world. And then at night, we all go to sleep. This sleep that we have every night is divisible into 2 parts, namely the dream state when we see phenomena created by our own minds, and the deep sleep state in which we do not see any world or any dreams. The deep sleep state is where we experience a blank or void without a conscious awareness of it. This very fact that we are able to go to sleep each night, in which the world disappears from our vision, itself indicates that the world is unreal and is a projection of our own minds. If the world were real, then it would not be possible for us to sleep and experience no world in deep sleep as we do. If the world were real, we should see it all the time in front of our eyes, all 24 hours of the day without a break. But that is not so. We do not experience the world in deep sleep, in which we temporarily transcend the world appearance. And then when we wake up, what happens is that the mind becomes active, and when the mind becomes active again, the world appears in front of us again. So until the complete and permanent destruction of the mind, which happens only upon liberation, the world shall never get permanently dissolved in our experience. To put it in simple words, mind on and the world appears, and mind off, the world disappears. Therefore, Vedanta rightly concludes that the entire creation is nothing but a projection of our own minds. Just see how powerful this mind is. So, here in this sloka, Adi Shankara says that before we go to sleep, we fold up all the senses into the mind, and the mind rests in the causal body and merges temporarily in the self. Actually, to say that we as conditioned souls have never experienced the self would not be totally true. All souls experience the universal self or Brahman during deep sleep, but the only thing we are not conscious of its existence while we sleep. During sleep and samadhi, what is common to both these experiences is that we are not aware of the world. But the only difference between them is that in sleep we are not conscious of our rest, while in samadhi we are conscious that we are taking rest. So in other words, samadhi is nothing but conscious sleep. If only we can be aware of ourselves while sleeping, then our deep sleep would become an experience of samadhi, which in turn would take us closer to the other shore of liberation. Every night, every creature comes so close to the reality, but only because of our ignorance we miss the conscious experience of ourself, which is what is known as samadhi. So Adi Shankara is saying here in this verse that Dakshinamurti and in fact all souls fold up their senses during deep sleep and come to experience a oneness of consciousness. However, for we conditioned souls, because we are still under the spell of ignorance, we are not aware that we are sleeping, and hence the mind comes back during the waking state and continues to project a world of names and forms as before. But for someone like Dakshinamurti and other realized souls, there is no such thing as deep sleep for them. During their deep sleep, they experience samadhi as they are conscious of the self all the time. For a realized soul, the three states of consciousness, namely waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, merge into one homogeneous experience of perpetual samadhi, during which they experience permanent happiness, bliss, and freedom. Those who have realized the self say that there are no human words to express the bliss that they experience. It is a realization beyond words. It is the ultimate benediction and blessing. To explain the state of deep sleep, which for a realized soul is permanent samadhi, Adi Shankara gives an example of the moon covering the sun during an eclipse. During a solar eclipse, the moon comes in the way of the earth and the sun and covers the sun for some time, for a few minutes. This we are all aware of. In this example, the self that we are can be compared to the sun, and our mind filled with ignorance can be compared to the moon, which eclipses the light of the sun. So the coming of the moon in front of the sun is like the darkness-filled mind covering the light of the self. Since the mind veils the self during deep sleep, we are thus not able to experience the selfhood in all its glory, which the realized souls are able to experience 24/7. So through constant Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam, let us all as seekers strive to achieve the experience of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and like Sri Dakshinamurti and other masters, let us all too experience permanent happiness, bliss and freedom. Finally, Adi Shankara says, to him the divine teacher Sri Dakshinamurti is this prostration. I have already commented in the previous videos about prostration and its importance. The more we prostrate with devotional bhava of feeling to our Sadgurus and Ishtadevatas, the more we shall get the fuel of inspiration and strength to pursue the spiritual path until the very end of our lives. Prostrations to Sri Krishna, to Sri Shankaracharya, to Sri Dakshinamurti, and to all the masters of Sanatan Dharma and other religions of the world. So friends, here ends my commentary on the 6th sloka of Dakshinamurti Stotram. I shall be coming up with commentaries on the following slokas of this work in the days to come. So stay tuned to this channel, and if you like this commentary, then hit the like button. Also, kindly subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so, so that you may be updated about forthcoming videos uploaded to this channel. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day ahead. Hari Om.